Hi, this video is going to be for Warden. Kind of with all healing specs, knowing the fight is kind of more crucial. Warden is an AoE healing spec. It has some burst heal capabilities. So knowing when the damage is about to be incoming, with the spike damage especially, or big
I can
AoE
see
damage,
your
is
knowledge.
when you kind of
You
want to
must
know
know the
to
abilities
use
you are
your
to gain
cooldowns.
in
I
life.
haven't used Warden for a long time, so I'm a little bit rusty
Will the
myself.
world be saved?
But try and show as best of my ability. As I always say, kind of look over your talents whenever you make a new build or take a build of somebody else's to kind of understand how different talents affect different things, how different masteries affect other things too. I haven't really played again with my Warden for a while. There's, I think, a few different other specs as well. Um, but this is the one I've been using back on Crucia. I haven't really changed it since. The gist of style of playing it is kind of the same, no matter what spec you kind of have. You might just have a different cooldown or not to kind of help out. Um, so these are masteries I picked here. Check the guild forums. I'll do more of the up-to-date specs and masteries there. But for now, I just wanted to get this video out there for you guys to start practicing with Warden and get better with it. Cleric heals are, with a lot of different things, high demand. They're really great, very versatile, because we have more healing souls than any other class. So it really does help out. I have, I think, a couple macros for Warden. Always a cleanse macro. Group 0, 1 to 20 cleansing waters. You just have to keep on spam clicking in and it'll go down the line, cleansing group 1 member first all the way down to 20. Um, really great so you don't have to target somebody and heal. Of course, sometimes there is a more important thing to cleanse, and so you might want to cleanse group 5 before you cleanse group 1 off something off 1. So I always highly suggest having your cleanse on your bar by itself anyways. Um, res macro, so that way people know you used it or try to use it. Um, Cascade is restores mana equal to 50% of the cleric's maximum mana over 3 seconds. This you can cast on anyone. So I have a macro to cast it on myself, so I restore my own mana. Warden, especially if you're spamming cooldowns, spamming a lot of heals at times, uses up a lot of mana quite quickly. Um, as well, I have an AoE heal macro. Polar Restoration, Healing Cataract, Healing Infusion. Healing Cataract is a casted one. Healing Infusion uses a lot of mana, but it is usable on the run. Um, so take your poison pretty much. Um, so with a few other things, K-alerts of course, a few different ones here. Um, so we have a few HOTS, so that's what these are here. Um, Dangers of the Deep kind of boosts. Um, out of combat, we get stacks. In combat, what ends up happening is we don't gain stacks, but we have to use a damage ability to keep up Dangers of the Deep. Keeping up Dangers of the Deep, though, with using a damaging ability, increases our heals. So you want to kind of keep that up. These are... We have a few different damaging abilities. Some of them are hot dots, so these ones kind of monitor the dots. And then there's a spam damage ability too, which does a small heal as well to 10 party or raid members. So always knowing your abilities, knowing how your talents interact with abilities is crucial. Um, so just kind of looking, we kind of have 4 heal souls. Our main ones, of course, Warden, Purifier, Sentinel. Then there's kind of a support heal one, which is Defiler. Um, Obviously, you get more heals out of the main heal souls than Defiler. Defiler is also kind of helps with DPS at times. Um, Increases healing done by 0.5 and absorption by 0.5. As well, to begin with, there's not much good useful for just in the low tree. Um, so other specs I kind of expect to have more Purifier or more Sentinel to increase the healing done of Warden. Um, so kind of look over stuff. There's some cooldowns. Within Sentinel here, Healing Breath is quite a crucial spot heal, 8-second global cooldown. So it's good to help spot heal a person with. Always good to have on your bar. Subtle and Healing Invocation, there's single target heals, 2.5-second cast, 2-second cast. Um, Warden itself has a casted heal, Overflowing Renewal, 1.5 seconds. With my stats, it heals 14.5 to 16k health. But if you overheal, it heals 2 of the allies' party or raid members that are close. So it spreads the heals if you overheal. Compared that to Healing Invocation, 15.7 to 17k, but it's a 1 more second for about 1k more health max. Subtle is half a second more, but does less heals. So really, other than having the instant healing breath, there's not much that we're getting for healing abilities from Sentinel. Healing breath, 14 to 15k. So just in the range of overflowing renewal, except for instant cast instead of a 1.5-second cast time. With this spec, with Sentinel, we get a buff that gets overwritten in raids, but could be useful in lower mans, is Heroic Resolve, increasing endurance. We also get a combat buff called Touch the Light, which makes our next healing or absorption spell be instantly cast and reducing its mana cost by 50%. So if you need to do a quick spot heal, you could make Overflowing Renewal instant cast, or you can make one of your AoE casts instant cast as well. In Purifier, we do get an Absorb Shield, can help out with spot heals too. It does put a shield with my gear for almost 15k, so it doesn't heal them up, but it does protect them for when they take more damage, and allows people to get healed up in the meantime as that Absorb Shield takes some damage. Symbol of the Torch you can apply onto 3 people. As soon as you apply it onto a 4th person, you can't put another... it gets rid of the one on the 1st person. As well, Symbol of the Torch puts a debuff on, so I'll just do it on myself here, called Burnout. I don't have a K alert for that, but Burnout means that that person cannot receive another symbol for, I forget how many seconds, because it's counting down. So you don't want to put it on people that are tending to get shields from purifiers. Test it again here, 20 seconds. Purifier can also reduce the duration of burnout with some of their heals at times, or reset it. But that could just be their symbols. As well, Purifier symbols will be stronger than you with just a few points in Purifier. So it's useful more in 20-mans where there's a lot more damage and you can shield up some other people. Where in 10-mans, Purifier can normally help shield the few people when they know that damage is incoming. You putting on your weaker shield means that they can't put on their stronger one. Other than that, there's just a damage 2-second cast Flame Lance, of course, not using anything in there. In Warden, we have Cascade, as I said, a mana regeneration. You can cast it on anyone, so I do have it macroed to be able to just cast on yourself. We also have our Mana Channel, which restores mana as we just stand still and channel. So we have a few damage abilities. We have Call the Depths, quite a bit of damage over 15 seconds. Damage increases over the duration. I believe as well, once it's on, you can't apply it again? Yeah, you can't apply it again once it's on. One target can only have it active once. We do have as well oversaturation. Um, whenever a nearby,
I'm back at Ward Hall.
it's kind of more of a
It's
debuff,
just like I remember it.
and when
Look at all
an
the
ally
lads
near
and
a
lasses working the
debuffed enemy,
forge.
it can only affect
Make
one
room
enemy
for
too is
me.
healed. It deals some water damage to the target. Lasts 15 seconds, called death 15 seconds as well. As well, there is dehydration, almost 20k with my stats, damage over 15 seconds. Water jet is a spammable damage ability, just under 10k, well, 8k damage, just over 8k damage. Spammable, of course, but we have Geyser, which is also spammable. Does a little bit more damage, but it also procs a heal. It's a very small heal, 1.5 to just over 1.6k with my stats, health up to 10 nearby party members. So when you don't need to raid heal much, and you can get some more damage out, you can do Geyser. Now, as you see here, call the Dangers of the Depth. Because I'm in combat with this practice dummy, I haven't done a damage ability in the last 15 seconds, so it didn't reset. So, gotta watch your Dangers of the Deep. 5 stacks is the max stacks. So before they fall off, you at least want to use one damage ability to keep up Dangers of the Deep. As you can see here, Dangers of the Deep talent, your damaging abilities increase healing done by 3% and increase the duration of non-channeled heal over time spells by 1 second. Reduces the cast time of Warden abilities by 0.1 seconds, lasts 15 seconds, max 5 stacks. While out of combat, we gain a stack every 4 seconds. But in combat, we don't. So it increases our hot durations, it improves our healing. Very, very useful. So you want to keep up as the max stacks always. So that's why I do have a Kaler for it. Of course, you have to use the damaging ability, so you do want your damaging abilities on your bar. Of course, as a heal soul, we have a lot of heals, so I'll come back to those. We do have a couple other different things. We have a knockback for our control. We have some buffs. Bosun's Blessing causes area effect healing spells to restore extra health, increasing damage dealt by 10%. That's a buff that just goes on our self buff. Then we also have another buff called Shared Access. This is not a self buff, so you can put it on anybody. But what it does is distributes 25% of overhealing received from the cleric, from yourself, to up to 5 other party or raid members. Can only affect one ally, lasts 1 hour. Tanks are consistently taking damage, and sometimes you're not overhealing them, even if they do get your hots. Where if you're not taking any damage and all your hots are on yourself, you're constantly overhealing yourself. And since it's from yourself, it's proccing shared access. So if you put it on yourself, you're more likely to be constantly be overhealing yourself. So it's best on yourself. Putting it on another person kind of reduces that effect. I see a lot of people put it on tanks. Yeah, we're not a tank healer. We're not constantly overhealing a tank. They're the ones taking damage constantly. So it's not always guaranteed that they're being overhealed, where if you're not taking damage, you're always being overhealed. We do have 2 combat buffs. Glassy Reflection. Next offensive spell cast on the cleric is reflected back. This is a self buff, single reflect, not very useful in raids, can be useful in PvP. Then as well, we have Tidal Surge. This is a huge cooldown. Every 45 seconds, it increases the cleric's damage done, healing done, and absorption granted on their next ability by 80%. So yeah, your biggest heal, increase it by 80%. Very, very huge. Now to kind of get into all our healing stuff. Of course, we have our single target cleanse, cleansing water. We have our AoE cleanse, curative waters. What this does though is it cleanses once and then it cleanses a second time as it expires. Every 3 seconds for 3 seconds. So first cleanse, and as it expires, it cleanses again, so it can cleanse off 2. We have Downpour. With my stats, 22k health over 6 seconds to 10 party or raid members in the target area, though. So it is a very big target, as you can see. Trying. But it is a ground target. As well, it is a channel. So you have to channel it. They have to stay in the area to get those heals. Best, of course, when people are stacked up. We have Healing Cataract. Cast time 1 second. It restores, with my stats, 4 to 5k health up to 10 party or raid members. So that's pretty much, 10 party members. Well, raid members, 50k HPS, 1 second cast. We have Healing Effusion, instant ability. If I remember, these 2 were the ones in my AoE heals, Healing Cataract and Healing Effusion, yep. So Healing Effusion, as you can see, it's, with my stats, 6.5 to 7.2k health, 10 party members, compared to 4.9 to 5.4. So it's a little bit more, but if you look at it, this is 517 mana, cast time 1.5 seconds. This one is 1786 mana. So it's close to triple the mana cost for not much more health. But of course it is instant. But the thing is, Healing Cataract, we have a 1.5 second global cooldown, so yeah, it's 1 global cooldown per Healing Cataract, where if you use Healing Effusion, it's still 1.5 seconds till you can use the next Healing Effusion. So really, it's just more useful if you have to move and heal. That's why I do have it macroed as the AoE heal macro. As well, we have Healing Flood, 7.5k health over 20 seconds to up to 20 party or raid members. So it affects everybody in the raid. This is one of the HOTS. Now this is also an AE heal. It's not a single target heal. That is important on fights like Geno. Because any single target heals can heal the boss, especially on the tanks. So you don't want single target heals. Healing Spray restores, with my stats, almost 25k over 20 seconds. This is just a heal. It counts as single target heal. You apply it to whoever you want it on. As well, since we have shared access on ourselves, we pretty much want to keep the COTS consistently on ourselves. There's a few reasons for that. But, so Healing Spray is one of the HOTS, single target one. So Monsoon here, it's an AE heal, cooldown 1 minute. It applies Healing Flood, the 20-person AE heal. Healing Spray, single target heal, and 4 stacks of Soothing Stream. Soothing Stream is down here. It's a heal, single target heal, restores with my stats almost 8k health over 20 seconds, but stacks up to 4 times. So we target ourselves, it stacks 4 times. 20 seconds. Same with Healing Spray, 20 seconds. But what it does is it applies it up to 10 party or raid members. When it applies Healing Flood, I'm not too sure if it applies to all 20, but it does say here to 10 party members. So you apply your Healing Spray and Soothing Stream, max stacks of Soothing Stream up to 10 party members. So as you can see, I just, with that, applied all the hots to myself. Of course, I'm in a party by myself, so it doesn't apply to anybody else. If there was 10 people, it applies to all of them. We do have 2 other interesting buffs. Orbs of the Stream. So we can apply this to anybody, 30-second cooldown, lasts for 30 seconds, and when that person is hit with damage ability, it removes an orb, and each orb heals, with my stats, almost 9k to almost 10k health. So you can apply that to one person. The other thing, though, is Orb of the Tide. It's an AE heal. Same thing, when the person it's on is hit, it removes an orb. The orb heals for, with my stats currently, 2.7k to just over 3k. Same target cannot have both orbs on them. So to consistently keep these up, you need to apply them on different targets. They're both 30 seconds, they both last for 30 seconds. So knowing the fight, knowing the damage incoming and how it happens, you can kind of use the orbs to begin with. If it's AE damage, you could apply Orbs of Stream, of course, to the tank, Orbs of the Tide to yourself, and when the AE damage hits, it procs on the tank, heals them, procs on yourself, heals the raid. Then as well, we have Overflowing Renewal, which is a 2-second cast time, healing with my stats 14.5 to just over 16k health. Overhealing is spread to 2 of the allies, party, or raid members. This is counts as an AE heal, it says, but it's targeted. So it's kind of like a spot heal. You're healing one person and any overheals get spread. We also have Pool of Restoration, cooldown 15 seconds. What it does is 10 party or raid members, each ally affected restores, with my stats, almost 3.5k to almost 4k health to 3, well, up to 3 nearby party or raid members. So 10 members affected by that, they heal up to 3 nearby party or raid members. That's pretty much 30 people being healed. Of course, in a 20-man raid, you don't have 30 people, so people will have overlap and be healed a couple times by different people. So really powerful cooldown itself, 15 seconds, of course. River of Life is our battle res, of course. Soothing Stream, as I said, is a hot that is single target, stacks up 4 times. So, as I said, we have Monsoon, which applies all our hots up to 10 party or raid members. The other thing we have is called Ripple, 30-second cooldown. What this does is it spreads our Healing Spray and Soothing Stream up to additional 5 additional of the target's party or raid members. What that means, though, is the target has to have Soothing Stream and Healing Spray on themselves, or else you can't Ripple. So I have myself targeted, I can't Ripple. Sorry, just someone in guild was trying to mention something to me, so just letting him know I'm kind of on. So of course, when you want to use Ripple, you want to make sure that you do have 4 stacks of Soothing Stream, so that way it spreads all 4 stacks to 5 other party members. Same with 1 stack of Healing Spray. If you don't have all 4 stacks and Healing Spray up, of course it's a little bit less of the thing. These again are single target heals, so in fight encounters that things heal up by single target heals or something, you don't want to use these. Another big cooldown is Wave of Renewal. It's a 1 minute cooldown. It is a 3-second channel. Um, what it does though is it restores, with my stats, 23 to almost 25.5k health to all party or raid members in the expanding ring. And then after 3 seconds, the ring contracts back inwards, restoring the same health amount again. So 3-second channel to all 20 party members, and so they get healed for max 25k the first time you hit it, and then 25k after the channel ends. So replying to a guild member. So I was answering Gilly about crit power stats. So as you can see here, I'll use Wave of Renewal here, and that's the circle. And then it expanding back, healing the people as it hits both ways. Um, so really it's knowing, as I said, fights, and um, knowing the fights and knowing when some damage is incoming is of course more crucial for the raid heals. We're a lot more bursty than we are sustained. We have good sustain for 10-mans, of course, because of Monsoon or even Ripple spreading to 5 other players. But for 20-mans, you normally want a second healer, so that way, like two Wardens could easily cover the raid heals on a whole 20-man, depending on how much raid damage that is incoming. Of course, if there's lots of raid damage, you might need more. But of course, if it's all consistent raid damage, you might want to look more at a Chloro or a Liberator or even a Fizz Tac. As I said, we are quite good for burst. We have quite a lot of bursty cooldowns. And in between the bursts, we can help kind of restore our own mana. So really, if you have the time, not much damage, what I always suggest is you keep your hots on yourself, spread them when you need to with either Ripple, or apply all of them with Monsoon, and then make sure that you keep them up on the tank as well to help out sometimes, especially if it's a one-tank fight. But it's pretty much keeping up your hots consistently, knowing when the raid damage is coming, and using your other healing abilities to correspond with your hots. And of course, every few seconds before the 15 seconds fall off Danger of the Deep is using a DPS ability to keep that up. Of course, if there's no raid damage incoming for a bit, feel free to, spam a little bit more heals, or a little bit more DPS. Um, because even with, as I said, Geyser, you do more damage, and it does proc a small heal. And of course, with keeping your hots up, you're pulling a decent amount of HPS even passively with just refreshing your hots and then spamming some DPS. So there is ways where you can either do self-cast macros, cast that mouse over macros, a modifier. There actually is a modifier. Self-cast modifier key here. You can disable it, Shift, Control, Alt. Because I haven't really been using Alt at all with the modifier for DPS, I kind of tried to do it with that, with heals. So even if I had wrong thing, like this healing dummy targeted, so applying it so you can see I have the hots on that. But if I press Alt and press it, I'm getting my hots on myself, and that's my Kalets. You can make Kalets to watch on your targets, so that way you can refresh them on your targets. Of course, use Ripple. With the dummies here, it's not in your party, so you can't spread stuff to them or monsoon to them, sadly. But, so, overflow and renewal here, of course, I'm healing it. Any overheals would have been spread. A heals if needed. Of course, practicing for raid heals, you best to do daily raid rifts or some open world stuff to more practice it and get better at heals. Back at level 50, I could heal through experts with Warden, but with Storm Legion, like, I didn't even try it when I was over geared with tier 2 gear doing experts. It's just a hassle. I wouldn't suggest doing Nightmare Tide experts either with it. So pretty much try in open world, try in PvP. They're great places to learn heal specs. Dungeons, Purifier, Sentinel works for dungeons, and raids and stuff. Just, you need practice to get better, and knowing the fight helps you a lot better. Because then you know when you need to use your cooldowns instead of, oh shit, a lot of people just took damage, I gotta heal them up, and then all of a sudden more damage comes and you might lose people. If you know the fights, know when the damage is coming, you can pre-heal, especially with the hots. It's good to get the hots on targets and get them spread to the raid members before the damage is incoming, so that way when they do get damaged, they start taking ticks of the heals of the hots, and you don't have to burst heal as much to recover all their HP. So that's a big reason why knowing the fights, knowing when the damage is incoming is better. So hope this was informative. I hope you practice some Warden, and hope you have fun with it. Anyways, you guys take care, and see you with the next video.